Good morning. Welcome to the closing session of this year's Development Marketplace. My name is Warren Evans. I'm the Director of the Environment Department, and it's my pleasure to kick off this ceremony. First, let me welcome all of the finalists. This is it. You've made it. This is what you've been waiting for. Let me also welcome all of those viewing this ceremony on the internet. And finally, I want to introduce Sanjay Pradhan, who will give the welcoming remarks. Sanjay is the Vice President of the World Bank Institute and a real leader in this year's Development Marketplace. Sanjay?
Good morning. It's a real pleasure to be here. I just wanted to say, my God, what an amazing week this has been. Over the last 4 days, we have learned a lot about each other. We have learned a lot about the common yet distinct manifestations of climate change that each of you are grappling with. And it's been very interesting because some of you are concerned about rising sea levels and flooding. Others are concerned about long drought runs, long dry runs. Some of you are concerned about having greater voice in local decision-making around land use. And some of you are concerned that while we protect the forests, you continue to harvest it for a decent income. So despite all this diversity, there has been a shared common commitment to collectively tackle the adverse impacts of climate change and to make development climate resilience. So this has been quite an enormous learning experience for all of us. As we have gotten to learn about each one of you and your impressive work, I wanted to emphasize once again how proud we are to be in the midst of your company. About 1,700 proposals were received, and from that, through a rigorous selection process, 100 ideas came forward, 100 ideas to save the planet. And all of us in the World Bank, when we have come to know about your innovations, we are very proud to be in the midst of your company, and we would like to salute your compassion, your commitment, your passion, and knowledge, which is featured here in the Development Marketplace. Our most difficult challenges, frontier development challenges, like climate change, need innovations, and that's what you have brought to the fore here. So in a few minutes, we will be hearing about the so-called winners, but we really want to acknowledge that all 100 of you gathered here are winners. And with that, I would just like to take a moment to do a round of applause for all of you as winners in the Development Marketplace. We would encourage you to continue to be a part of this network, irrespective of whether you formally win or not. This network of innovators will be a very useful way for you to stay connected to fellow innovators and get support as you proceed. This is the 9th global competition that we are doing. It's the 9th Development Marketplace. And each time in the Development Marketplace itself, we have been trying to innovate. And this week, the innovation we have used is social media. The star of the social media is this flip cam that you must have seen. It is actually in your hands, and you can see and you can use this to tell the story of your project to the world around you through YouTube. All your stories are already on the website, and in this way we are already reaching a global audience. Now, finally, none of this would be possible without a consortium of partners that support the Development Marketplace. So let me take a moment to acknowledge and thank them here. First, we have William Ellers, team leader of the Global Environment Facility. The Global Environmental Facility has been the Development Marketplace's most ardent supporter. The competition has been the 7th time GEF has supported DM winners and turned their proposals into reality. So we would like to thank William Ellers and GEF very much. Next to him, Mr. Elwin Granger-Jones, Executive Coordinator for Global Environment and Climate Change at the International Fund for Agriculture Development, and Ambassador Friis Arndt Petersen of the Government of Denmark. As of today, we can say that the Development Marketplace has awarded $60 million to 1,000 new ideas. Without their support and vision, we would not be standing before you here today. So please join me in giving a big round of applause to this consortium of partners that have made this happen. And now let me invite each of the partners to come to the podium and share a few thoughts with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that introduction, and good morning to all of you. On behalf of Monique Barbu, who's the CEO and the chairperson of the GEF, as well as all of the GEF family of agencies, I want to welcome you, recognize you, and encourage you. Welcome you to this lovely city, where we meet to celebrate one of the best qualities of human spirit, those that you, individually and as a group, embody. Many have welcomed you, and in spite of the weather, but I don't only do it as a courtesy. I do it because I'm convinced that this occasion will be a turning point in all of your lives. Over time, you will see that this event could not have come at a more opportune time to allow you to take advantage of your ideas with the support of the superb work of the Development Marketplace team and the financial backing of these partners you see and others, the GEF, the World Bank, IFAD, and the Danish government. I want to recognize you, recognize your creativity, your initiative, your perseverance. As we celebrate innovation, you are proof that it is possible to support communities struggling with the negative and often devastating effects of climate change with ideas and actions that require small amounts of money, but lots of work, coordination, and community effort. At the GEF, we strongly believe that the Development Marketplace's focus on motivating innovation gives it a special comparative advantage. All the awards selected here incorporate new methods that go beyond the usual standard, and this is precisely why the GEF and the Development Marketplace are such a good match. The Development Marketplace is a natural extension of the GEF's long-standing experience involving civil society in achieving global environmental benefits. The Small Grants Program is one example you may be familiar with, and the Development Marketplace carries this concept one step further. Finally, I want to encourage you. Your presence here is meant not only to compete for a grant, I mean, of course it is, but that's not the only reason. More importantly, it's a unique opportunity to show yourself, to show your ideas, to meet, to exchange and network with the other 99 participants and your visitors, sharing your views, your experience, your knowledge, so that these contacts will develop into future cooperation beyond the realm of the immediate projects. So take the seeds that you gather here and sow them in your countries and communities. As you do this, remember and be proud that as partners of the Global Environment Facility, you are carrying forth its mission to act locally for the global good. I wish you every success. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and congratulations once again to this excellent set of ideas. I will be quick because I know I'm standing between yourself and the prize giving. Yesterday I found to be a really amazing day for me. I learned so much about the ideas that are being generated, and it was sort of compounded by watching the news last night about the acceleration of a new study's come out about the acceleration of ice loss in Greenland, published in the journal Nature. And it really struck me that this is exactly what we need to be doing. We need every last drop of political will. We need every last drop of ideas and innovation to beat this thing. And so that the work you are doing to sometimes reclaim knowledge that we thought we might have lost and to match that with technology is exceptionally important. IFAD, International Fund for Agricultural Development, sees climate change as, in many ways, the gravest threat to our mission of reducing poverty and supporting the rural poor. We're seeing impacts that were unexpected. We're seeing impacts that will be, in many cases, devastating. We're seeing projections that are very shocking. Projections that yields in Africa may halve because of climate change. We've been providing support for 30 years to the rural poor, but this one issue may undermine much of that work. So I guess my message today is one of thanks that we can support and provide financial support to this event, to encourage this innovation and creativity, to express a hope that this is matched by the political will to get the global rules right, which is the other side of the coin to what is going on here, and to thank you for bringing these ideas here. In a way, there's no such thing as a climate expert. What I learned yesterday is we've all got some expertise to share on this issue. We cannot contain this issue within a small group of people who call themselves experts. We've all got something to offer on this, and so do you. So thanks once again. Fantastic organization. On behalf of our president, Kanayo F. Nwanzi, and those I work with in IFAD, delighted to see this event take place. Thank you.
Good morning. First of all, I want to join others in congratulating all the finalists. I visited the marketplace yesterday, and I must say that I'm very impressed by the wealth of ideas, innovation, and engagement showcased here. You are offering concrete solutions to an urgent issue like climate change adaptation. That's the spirit. We need these solutions to alleviate the consequences of climate change, but also to show the rest of the world that something can and must be done on climate change adaptation. For Denmark, it is important that we support the urgent needs of the poorest and most vulnerable countries in their effort to adapting to climate changes, and that this is reflected in the climate change negotiations going on and right now in Copenhagen. As you know, Denmark is hosting the upcoming International Conference on Climate Change. We are struggling with many issues in the negotiations, so it is nice for once to relate to some of the solutions. I'm really excited about the growth potential in many of your solutions, and also about hearing the success stories from previous development marketplace winners. There is something to live up to for the winners here today. Supporting innovation and giving that startup capital very often yields so much in return. My own country is a point in case. We were hit hard by the oil crisis back in the 70s, since we were very dependent on foreign oil. This crisis triggered a number of new initiatives that changed our energy consumption patterns, decreased our fossil fuel dependency, and opened up whole new markets for us. The result today is that the innovation wave in that Denmark is one of the world's most efficient users of energy, and that we are market leaders on renewable energy, not least wind energy. I also want to appreciate that the development marketplace this year has a special window for indigenous peoples, giving them a clear entry to these kinds of funds. Denmark has for many years worked to ensure that the indigenous voices are heard in the international system, and I'm proud to say that we were instrumental in creating the UN Permanent Forum for Indigenous Peoples by leading the UN resolution formally establishing this. I would like to thank the World Bank for organizing this event so professionally and so dynamically, and for inviting us on board as donors. With the development marketplace concept, you are skillfully using your convening power and igniting that entrepreneurship so crucial for promoting development and for economic growth. Let me conclude by saying that I believe you are all winners here today because you have shown that you care and that you want to do something about climate change adaptation. On behalf of my country, I really want to thank you. Thank you.
We're about there, but first, thanks again to all of our donor partners. Thank you. Okay, the time's come. We are pleased and fortunate that we have two of our colleagues that will announce the awards. The winners, the first will be announced by Conrad von Ritter, who's the Climate Change Manager in the World Bank Institute, and then the second group will be announced by Alim Waji, who's the Innovation Practice Manager in the World Bank Institute. Conrad?
Good morning. What an exciting morning. And again, welcome all of you. I had the pleasure of meeting some of you, actually most of you, during these last days. And I have the pleasure to start announcing the winners. And I want to say the sequence does not mean anything. All winners are equal. And with that, I have the pleasure to announce the proposal 3171. Solar desalination offers hope against risk of aquifer pollution by seawater. Please, the winners stand up and come to the podium to receive your trophy. In a dry country like Djibouti, people depend on aquifers for fresh water. But these are threatened by rising sea level and altered rain patterns. So the Centre d'études et de recherche de Djibouti and TSS Spinning and Weaving of Kenya are receiving an award to develop solar-powered desalination plants. And I have the pleasure to announce the proposal 3349. Healthy wells and latrines keep water drinkable for vulnerable communities. Please come to the podium. More frequent and intense floods in communities along the coast of El Salvador means contaminated water, wells, and poorly built latrines flooded. With the Development Marketplace grant, Pro Vida and Oxfam America will install innovative healthy wells and sealed latrines, which, along with awareness programs, will protect community health. And now I do have the pleasure to announce the proposal 3191. Bell and Bottle, low-cost warning system for flood slide-prone communities. A very innovative system using soda bottles and bells to detect imminent landslides and floods, which will protect over 12,000 people in remote communities in the Philippines. This proposal by the Farming and Soil Resources Institute of the University of the Philippines in Los Baños and the Center for Initiative and Research for Climate Adaptation is therefore a winner for this year's Development Marketplace Award. And the next proposal, they don't all start with 3. The proposal number 4865. Women and youth use reality show format to tell of climate options. To raise awareness about adapting to climate change, you need first to get people's attention. In Bundelkhand, India, the NGO Development Alternatives and the Business Social Rural Directioner and R.K. Swami will use a development market grant to develop reality shows to guide people on how they can adapt to climate change and reduce the risk to their communities. And not all start with 3 or 4, but now I announce the proposal 1630. Indigenous wisdom and biomathematics, Amazonians tackle climate change. This proposal combines ancestral knowledge with the latest in biomathematical software to analyze GIS data, the CCCN Quechua Copal Sasha Urco Estudios Amazonicos community and Urco Estudios Amazonicos will use this development market grant to help 1,500 indigenous people in the Peruvian Amazon to better manage their production systems, protect their forest, and increase their livelihood and income. Congratulations. I have the pleasure to announce the proposal 3712, floating power chargers, providing light in the darkness of climate change. Heavy flooding in remote areas of the Philippines often knocks out hydropower equipment built in rivers, resulting in blackouts. With a development market grant, LAMS Agri-Mechanicals and FSSRI at the University of the Philippines at Los Baños will install floating hydropower generators that can be removed during floods, benefiting over 2,000 people. Congratulations. I announce the proposal 4270, recuperation of water systems on vulnerable pre-Hispanic Andine terraces. Climate change has made the 8-month dry season in Peru's highlands even drier. The Cusichaca Trust and the Association Andina Cusichaca will use a development market grant to restore proven pre-Hispanic water management and terracing practices to conserve water and increase crop yields. Congratulations. And now I have the pleasure to announce the proposal 5057, earth-roofed housing, cheap and sustainable shelter to face desertification. Timber is too scarce and costly to use for building houses in Burkina Faso. But with the development market grant, the AVN and La Voûte Nubienne will undertake a pilot project to train farmers in Boroma district in how to build houses with vaulted roofs made of earth bricks. Congratulations. Our next winner is the proposal number 1041. Adaptive natural resources management, which will bolster Cabicar communities in Costa Rica. About 10 tropical storms hit the Cabicar communities in Costa Rica every year, often flooding the area. A project by a local NGO, Ixacaba, has been selected for a development marketplace grant to rescue ancestral knowledge and combine it with new technologies to ensure that local production system and resource management is climate resilient. Our next winner is number 4646, elevated bamboo houses designed to lift communities above the flood zones. Felicitations. Increased flooding in Ecuador's coastal regions often destroy people's homes. The International Network for Bamboo and Rattan joined the Catholic University of Santiago de Guayaquil to develop a plan to build 500 elevated flood-resistant bamboo houses. With the development marketplace grant, they will not only bring a new and safer home to those 500 families, but also link 1,000 farmers and 500 builders with an existing bamboo housing supply chain. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And our next proposal is the number 5108, reducing risks of biodiversity conservation using adaptive fire management. In Bolivia, as in many countries, farmers burn forests to expand farmland. To reduce the risk that this practice leads to uncontrolled forest fires, the Fundación Amigos de la Naturaleza, and the Prefectura of the Department of Santa Cruz in Bolivia will receive a Development Marketplace Award to coordinate burning to dates that offer favorable climate conditions, thereby reducing the risk of runaway forest fires. Congratulations. And our next winner is the number 1661. Traditional knowledge is the prescription for environmental land management. Climate change is affecting ecosystems in the rainforest of Putumayo, Colombia, causing disappearance of animals and fruits as well as drought and flooding. The Organización Zonal Indígena del Putumayo has been selected for an award to develop land use plans for 207,000 hectares of forest using GIS and traditional indigenous knowledge. Felicitations. The next winner is the proposal number 1503, empowering Guatemala's indigenous communities to cope with climate change. Planning for adaptation to climate change must include indigenous communities. To make this happen in Guatemala, the Asociación Tzotzil and the NGO Conservation International will receive a Development Marketplace Award to engage indigenous groups in planning use of communal lands and other issues. And this will also open the door for these groups to participate in national and policy making on adaptation to climate change. Felicitations. And the next proposal is the number 4556. African smallholders to play out climate drama on the airways. Smallhold farmers in Nigeria's Igbo-speaking region have limited access to information about the risks of climate change. Using a Development Marketplace Award, the Smallholder Foundation will produce 20 radio episodes in Igbo, reaching 15 million listeners, outlining how to manage climate change in their communities. Smallholder listener clubs will use solar-powered interactive radios to provide feedback after the broadcast. Congratulations. And here's the last winner I will announce before handing over to my colleague, and that is the proposal number 1335. Drought-hardy food forests to help mosquito children weather the storm. I see a lot of emotion there. Good. Welcome. Nicaragua's mosquito communities are hit by droughts, storm, floods, and hurricanes. To roll back deforestation, restore wild game, and deliver better nutrition to 2,500 children, Mazani will use an award to cultivate Maya nut trees. The nutrition-rich Maya nut will generate 5 million pounds of food a year, improving health and local incomes. Felicitations.
Thank you, Conrad. Gives me good pleasure to continue the list, again in random order.
The next winner is project number 4311. Saving Glaciers, Artisanal Industry aims to stop the melt and save water. Climate change is melting tropical glaciers. A DM award will support the organization as it engages local workers in the Peruvian highlands to produce a reflective cover that can be painted on the rocks surrounding glaciers. This will stop glacial melting and help restore glacial mass, a vital form of fresh water in the Andes and the world. Congratulations. The next winner, project number 4949, Wave Energy Converter to mitigate ocean wave damage and beach erosion. On the seacoast and island communities around Paricio in the Dominican Republic, roads, bridges, and ports built on beaches are often destroyed by storms and tidal waves. With this grant, the university will use an underwater mechanical apparatus to reduce the force of ocean waves and convert wave energy into electricity. Congratulations. The next winner, project number 3906, Rising Sea Levels, Strengthening Disaster Preparedness of the Southern Light with SMS Technology. Project number 3906. Rising sea levels and shifting rainfall means more natural disasters in the Southern Light region of the Philippines. This grant will help the organization prepare the region's residents for disasters by raising awareness of disaster risks, by using mobile phone technology to provide announcements and information on demand. Congratulations. The next winner, project number 1532, Climate Change Education is the best hope for Siberian grassroots communities. Land rights for indigenous people in northern Russia are not legally recognized, and they are excluded from discussions on national climate discussions. This DM grant will support the organization to train indigenous people in Siberia to develop a climate adaptation strategy and monitor progress on its implementation. Congratulations. Project number 1641, Samoans turn to traditional housing as a sanctuary from climate risk. Cyclones often hit Samoa, destroying many houses. The most resilient houses use traditional designs. This DM grant will help the organization gather knowledge from elders to build 3 model Samoan houses in coastal sites while providing public education on climate risk. Congratulations. The next winner, project number 4561, portable solar wind greenhouses to grow fodder for sustainable dairy farms. In India, a shortage of green animal feed reduces the volume of milk produced, the birth weight of calves, and the potential income of poor farmers. This award will help the organization convert small plots of wasteland into hydroponic greenhouses using solar and wind power technologies. Congratulations. The next winner, project number 1401, helping the Kekchi Maya thrive with sustainable forest management. Uncontrolled development, climate change, and marginalization are threatening the livelihoods of the Kekchi people of southern Belize, as well as the existence of several species. This grant will help the Institute for Indigenous Management set up a community-based enterprise to manage resources so that logging is sustainable, Protecting the forest will mitigate climate change, support biodiversity, and prevent soil erosion. Congratulations. The next winner, project number 3333. Fishing communities seek security in aquaculture and mangrove restoration. Storms and rising sea levels are threatening the livelihoods of some 20,000 poor fishing villages in the Philippines. Fish ponds and vast mangrove forests that once protected the villages have been abandoned. With this grant, the organization will replant mangroves, set up a value chain system to fatten and market Thai crabs, raising local incomes and building the capacity of local fishing villages to adapt to climate change. The next winner. Project number 4307, Daphnia grazing to stem global warming linked to bacterial toxins to fish ponds. Global warming has increased the level of toxic bacteria in fish farming, reducing the quality of fish meat and making it unfit to sell. This DM grant will help the organization develop a small-scale biological method for controlling levels of the toxin. The approach, which uses Daphnia, a small plankton crustacean, would be applicable in any region where water quality restricts fish farming. We have two left, and I'm sorry that I'm going fast. I'm just trying to get everybody in. The next winner is project number 3959. Innovative pilot scheme would match the needs of seeds to women farmers in Ethiopia. In Ethiopia, climate change is behind crop failures, posing a threat to food security. A DM will enable Biodiversity International to protect the livelihoods of some 200 vulnerable farmers by providing access to locally adapted varieties of crops. This know-how, as well as traditional ways of adapting to climate change variability. Congratulations. And now to announce the final winner. Project number 1358, Adapting Native Andean Crops for Food Security in the Face of Climate Change. Indigenous people are the most vulnerable to the negative effects of climate change because they depend on a complex ecosystem. A DM grant to this organization will support plant breeding to increase diversity and production of nutritious potatoes, improving the quality of life and incomes for the community's people. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to all of you, and to all of you. You're all winners. I'd like to ask that you stay here for a group photo after we close. It's my pleasure or kind of displeasure really, to have to close this year's Development Marketplace. It's been a marvelous shared experience, I think. In closing, let me share with you what I heard that one of our finalists who traveled here from far away said this week. I came here thinking of my people. I leave here thinking of our planet. Indeed, there's a strong bond among all of us present, a deep understanding that there is only one planet, and as many of you have so forcefully said this last week, our Mother Earth. I ask you, including those participating via the internet, to reach out to your neighbor on both sides, hold their hand, symbolizing the bond that we've achieved this week. So if you don't mind, grab your neighbor's hands, show the bond. And now, I'd like for all of us, thinking about Copenhagen in a few weeks, and all of you on the internet, to spend 15 seconds in silent prayer, hoping that a deal is done in Copenhagen. Thank you very much. So I'd like to I'd like to make one final request of all of you, particularly the finalists here today. Take back the message of the development marketplace this year to your communities, to your governments. Spread the word that there are great ideas out there, that many of you have the solutions to the world's problems, and that we need to bring the community's ideas and energy to the forefront of the effort to save this planet. Enriched with the ideas that you've shared here this week, and encouraged by the spirit that there were practical ways forward, inspired by the lead that others and you have made, wherever you are, please pass on the message of your commitment and the commitment of all of us here today to really try and tackle this problem that we have of global climate change. With that, I wish you a safe journey home, and congratulations to all of you. Thank you. The Development Marketplace is closed.
They came from 6 continents, 100 finalists with ideas to save the planet. The Development Marketplace 2009 kicked off with a flurry of activity. It's a global competition to turn ideas into action. This year's focus, climate change, an issue many here say cannot be ignored.
Climate change and poverty are deeply interwoven. Quite simply, they are the defining issues for this century.
Recognizing this as a major concern, the Global Environmental Fund, the International Fund for Agricultural Development, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Denmark, and the World Bank joined forces to identify innovative solutions to one of the world's most critical issues.
Every type of studies that you get show that the people who are going to suffer the most from the climate change are the poorest people of the world.
That the development marketplace is an excellent platform for scouting and collecting new ideas from diverse sources, fostering innovative solutions, and developing partnerships in support of climate change.
This kind of grassroots activity with small-scale projects, I think, really addresses that kind of individual and also collective responsibility, but in a very small scale that is extremely important to get the solutions going that we all need.
It's a theme reflected in the projects vying for the nearly $5 million in grant funding available to winners. Submissions range from plans to increase crop yield and educate farmers to flood warning devices and disaster management.
There's urgent need to come up with the proposals and implement them in order to adapt to the adverse effects of climate change.
This year, many of those proposals come from indigenous peoples who draw on rich histories and traditions to adapt to new challenges.
Indigenous people's traditional knowledge and traditional resource management practices is very crucial for them to be able to adapt to climate change and also to contribute to the mitigation of climate change.
Scientists haven't found all the answers yet, especially in the Andean region. Today, we are working on new methods that combine local knowledge and external knowledge to find new answers.
Throughout the week, panels and discussion groups offer opportunities to hear from development and climate change experts. But learning from each other may be the most valuable experience of all.
I think the session was really about sharing knowledge and sharing common experiences. It's the first opportunity we've had to really talk about the theme of disaster risk reduction. All of us are working in that area and how it links to climate change adaptation.
And that's exactly what Development Marketplace organizers wanted this competition to do.
It's really nice to see the people behind all of these great ideas, and we're looking forward to continuing this kind of dialogue in a really important subject matter.
The conversation continues online and around the globe as Development Marketplace goes viral. Participants use social media like blogs and Facebook to take their projects to the world.
We also loan out these little flip video cameras to finalists and volunteers and getting all that stuff, all that nice content, short clips onto YouTube.
Concerns and bring
The next step, pitching their ideas to the judges. A panel of 40 jurors circles the room, challenging the competitors. It's a process Tran Tret understands very well. He was a Development Marketplace winner in 2003, receiving more than $100,000 to train the Khmer people in Vietnam's Mekong Delta to sustainably harvest grasses and make handicrafts now sold in 12 countries.
We believe that there would be a way that we can do nature conservation and at the same time providing the benefit to the local people.
The benefit? An increase in income. 5 years later, the daily wage for the Khmer people is 3 times higher. A success story everyone here is hoping to replicate. As someone who's seen both sides of this process, Tran Tret has this piece of advice.
Everyone who makes themselves here is a winner. So don't be so sad that you're not getting the grant. Your idea will be heard. So I wish them the best to implement their wonderful idea.
Win or lose, many here say they're leaving richer than they came. In the words of one finalist, I came here thinking about my community. I leave here thinking about the planet.